That is true. Guys, we're going to go over, though, to sjokz and lovely two gentlemen, Krepo and Dexter, to break down game number 2.
Absolutely, and Krepo totally didn't just arrive 10 seconds before we're starting the segment.
I was watching the game upstairs with some of the coaches, and I was getting that intel from both Broken Shard and Probably.
Yeah, we will see what you have to bring to the table here. Let's take a look at the comp starting off, because I want to talk about confidence in H2k, because we said it would be so vital for them to win that first game. Then they come out with a totally different comp in game 2, which is a good comp, but very hard to play.
I mean, yeah, triple assassins. We had like Kha'Zix, Kassadin, and Zed, right?
Yep.
So
Ahri.
Ahri. I mean, yeah, it's very hard to play actually, because you have to work with vision, because you don't have any form of hard engage. So it's actually a very advanced strategy, because usually we only see like top teams do that. And even when they didn't use vision that well in the game, like the vision was still fairly shaky from both teams, I have to say, and there was like zero jungle pressure in early game. To make the comp work against like better teams, you have to rely on having good vision. But this just shows that H2k is the clear favorite in this tournament, and they just outclass their opponent.
Yeah, if we go back to the early game and the mid game, if you look at both team comps, really it's on N Faculty to make a play, get that Pantheon jungle rolling, and get some gang stuff. But at the same time, he was pretty much only like telegraphing and just trying to counter gang to Kha'Zix. But Kha'Zix is fine walking to the lane, seeing if something happens, goes back to farm, because he'll outscale the Pantheon in the later stages of the game. And then, yeah, it comes down to individual matchups, because if we group those compositions together in the mid game, without crowd control, it's going to be really hard to get anything done unless you basically force people out of a position. And that's what H2k did. You know, at one point they had that dragon fight where somehow everything aligned. They got the dragon, they got 2 kills. Yep. At the same time, in the mid lane, febiven solo kills somebody in a matchup that he previously won when the champions were swapped around. So he's basically just asserting his dominance right now. And I don't know who's going to stop febiven. And it won't be a 1v1, it'll be a 1v2. And usually Lux is in the right place then to countergank that.
Also, yeah, the top lane, Odoamne, stepping up big time this game. Kassadin, very solid score, very good roams, and even just trying to make this roam work and against the Maokai, he was like even in CS, but he actually had all the pressure in the game on the mid lane too, because he actually managed to roam from top lane, which usually should not happen. Like it just shows that they have like this huge confidence behind them, and yeah, like I said, the Maokai should be able to push in Kassadin all the time, but then fairly early he made a pretty good roam, some pressure on the mid lane, and then he just got like 7 or 8 kills.
Yeah, it reminds me of a European team we used to play against that always had their top lane push up and then roam to the mid lane to help a guy called Nuktak.
Nuktak and Zorzer, yeah.
I can't remember who. Yeah, obviously was Dexter's team back in the day.
Yeah, but if we put everything together, the mid lane is absolutely outclassing and doing fantastically. Odoamne is holding his own on this different pick. Jungle pressure is good. Bottom lane doesn't even need to show up that much, so I feel like H2k is definitely on the right path now. As we said, if it's a 1-0, it'd probably be a 2-0 and a 3-0. Is there anything that N Faculty could do?
I mean, I don't see any way to actually come back from N Faculty, because H2k showed a lot of strategic diversity. In the first game, they had an all-in comp with like Jarvan, Lissandra, teamfight compositions, and then they actually had like a triple assassin comp. So that just shows that they are way better prepared than their opponent, and I don't really see how N Faculty can change up their gameplay that much to actually kind of counteract that.
I think a combination of 2 out of 3 things need to go right for N Faculty here. They need to either shut down Odoamne in the top lane like Gabe won, because he's more of a shot caller for their team, and when he's put on the back foot, he's more hesitant to make these risky calls. That needs to happen, or febiven somehow needs to lose these matchups, probably due to jungle pressure. But then at the same time, you have this like 50-50 thing happening on bot lane, where either side can actually come on top. But because H2k is a better strategical team in the mid to late game, their bot lane ends up shining through. We see Voidal all the time with these good scores at the end of the game. Right now he finished 1-2 in 11, but at the start of the game it goes slow. It's only when the game starts going to the final stages that they start racking up these assists. So if they can shut down one of top lane and mid lane, win bottom somehow, or go even bottom, get those 2 lanes down, maybe. But even then, H2k showed they'll be just a better team.
Yep, it's a tall order for N Faculty if they have to do all those things. But we will see if they can in Game 3, if they can bring it back, or if it will be H2k we'll be seeing tomorrow in our winners final. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.